Vanessa the Crafty Gemini. I post weekly videos right here on my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm sharing with you an overview of the irons that I use for my sewing and quilting projects. Alright, so let's start off with my thoughts on these little mini travel irons. There's a ton of other ones on the market, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about these two and why I like them. Let's start off with this one. This is the Steam Fast one. Remember, there's links to all these irons in the description box below. If you do want to go ahead and grab one, I would appreciate it if you use my link so I can get credit for it. Now, this little Steam Fast guy was super hot. Back in the days. This I've had probably since like 2010 or something. It's been around forever. I guess when the word started getting out in the quilting and crafting game that we loved mini irons because, you know, quilters go to retreats, sew days with their guild, they travel, they go visit their friends. We want a small, kind of more compact setup that we can take with us. A little ironing board and a mini iron, right? This guy was awesome. It has steam capabilities. You pop this open here. You can put steam in it. It doesn't have that many holes. You can see on the bottom here, it just has 4 little holes for steam. I don't use steam when I sew my patchwork pieces together, so I never put water in this. That's fine. It heats up really hot, actually, and I really loved using it. I think I had like 3 of these or something. I would take them when I taught classes back in the day. In person, it was a great little option to have students set up on the side of their work table and give them an iron to use. Now, one thing to note on this guy, once the word started getting out that crafters and quilters and stuff use this, I feel like the price skyrocketed. And now a lot of quilt shops and even online stores will sell them. You can find them for like almost $30. I paid like $12 or $13 for this when I first got mine back in the day. So keep that in mind. Another thing is, this is the handle. So it's a little convenient. It's cool. But if you notice, the bottom portion here that gets hot, my hand is kind of big. When I hold this, if I touch this bottom portion in any part, this thing heats up quite hot, and if I touch the bottom part here, it's super hot to the touch. So I literally have to be like grabbing it kind of closer to the top and trying to stay away from the bottom so that I don't burn myself. So that's an inconvenience for sure. And because the price has skyrocketed so high these days, I wouldn't even recommend that you buy this. If you have it, you probably love it because a ton of people do. But I feel like as the years have gone by, there's better things on the market for a lot less money, okay? But this is the little Steam Fast Iron. I know I've gotten that question recently on Facebook. People are asking me, oh, the Steam Fast Iron isn't your favorite anymore. Well, no, because I've had this for like 5 or 6 years, and there's better stuff on the market now. So I'll show you what my favorite mini travel iron is, and that is this one. This is by Sunbeam. Significantly more affordable than this one. I recently looked it up online, and you can get them for like $12, $12 or $13, so that's definitely affordable. It's great to just buy a couple and have them with you for traveling and for taking to your sewing and quilting retreats. This one also has steam. You can see it has several more holes than this one does. One thing to note is that this guy looks bigger. It's bigger in the handling part of it, but if we flip them both over, you'll see that the sole plate is identical. You see that? Okay, this one has this added chunk back here. But as far as the sole plate goes, they're both identical in size. So as far as the coverage that you're using and heating up on your fabric, it's the same thing. I like this one better because I don't have that burning factor down here that if I'm touching this. This is the water reservoir, and this one holds more water than this one as well. You can also put the steam on or off. You can blast it if you want to by pressing on the side, these 2 big side chunks here to blast it with some steam if you need to. You fill it up with water here. And you can see that this whole clear blue reservoir here is for water. So this one holds more water than that one. So if you're somebody who needs it for steaming purposes and for heating up, then this is going to be your go-to guy. Not only is the price a lot more affordable than this guy, but I love it because I don't burn my hand. If you have bigger hands, this is probably going to be more comfortable for you like it is for me. Again, it holds more water and it heats up super fast and super hot because that's what I need when I'm pressing my seams to the side and kind of just pressing my fabric and patchwork pieces into place. So for sure, right now in 2016, this is my favorite mini travel iron because of all the reasons that I just stated and because of the price. All the other ones that are on the market are significantly more expensive, and I still haven't found that they beat this one in the things that I personally need it for. If you have a favorite mini travel iron, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below so I can check that one out too, because I'm always looking to review new products and to kind of check out what's on the market, okay? So this one right now is my favorite, and I'll include a link for you in the description box below. Now let me put the little guys away and let's talk bigger irons. All right, now moving on to the bigger irons. I have a variety of irons. Some people think that I'm kind of constantly switching my mind and things, and so I wanted to make this video really to let you all know and show you that I actually use different irons for different things. Granted, not everybody is in the position or has the budget to be buying a ton of different irons. This is what I do for work, and this is my business, so I'm constantly looking at different products and things just so that I can do this, create videos for you, giving you my opinion, using them in different projects and kind of putting them to the test to see what it is that I like and that I can personally recommend. I'm obviously not being paid by any of these companies, but I do want to tell you guys what I think of these irons. Here we have a Panasonic cordless iron, and this one you probably have seen in more recent video tutorials that I love to use for a lot of different projects. You can see it's cordless, and it has two tapered ends. So instead of just being pointed like most irons and kind of wider towards the bottom like these guys, this one, it looks like a mini iron. Especially when I hold it in my hand in the videos, people always think that it's a mini iron, but it's not. It's a regular sized iron. The only thing is that it's not kind of boxier on one end. It tapers off on both sides, which is kind of cool because you can use it in both ways, reach into corners of collars and things. I like to use this one for quilting, specifically because it is cordless. When you piece your patchwork pieces together, you are constantly going back to press. It's basically I stitch a seam, I press it. I stitch a seam, I press it. So in quilting, because you have that back and forth of sewing and pressing after every seam, it's easy for me and it's convenient also to use a cordless iron. I can set the base up off to the side, and every time I need to press, I can just grab it and come over to wherever I have my little ironing board set up, press, and I can put it back. The downside to having a cordless iron is that obviously when it's on the base is when it's charging. That's what's giving it the heat. As soon as you take it off of the base, it's starting to lose energy already, right? Because it's no longer getting fed through the electrical thing here, giving it energy to heat up. So if you need to iron a collared shirt, this is probably not going to work for you, because the back and forth is going to drive you insane. You're going to be pressing, and then you're going to be like, okay, it's not ironing that good. Let me return it to the base, and now wait and twiddle your thumbs till it heats up again, and then pick it up again. So if you're doing clothes, or like when I make garments, when I make clothes, like sew clothes and stuff, I will never reach for this iron, okay? I don't have time to be going back and forth and kind of waiting for it. But in quilting, that's the process. That's kind of, I have to wait anyways, because while it's back on the base charging, I'm over there cutting and sewing something else. You get it? So that's how I use it. So this is my go-to iron when I'm working on quilting projects and patchwork piecing, where I can consistently, go back, put it back on the base, press a bunch of little blocks, press a bunch of seams open, and then I'm done. So I can put it back, continue doing what I was doing, grab some more blocks, piece them together. All right? So this is it. This thing comes really cool. This is another reason I like it, because it's really portable and I can take it to my retreats and classes. It has its own carrying case. You can see there's no cord that's falling all over the place, tripping me up and all that. And I will show you where the cord is, because obviously something needs to be plugged into the wall. It's in here. It's a retractable cord. You can see how it stays out, and you can just keep pulling it and plug it into the wall. When you're done, it retracts back in there. So it's a nice, convenient little package. And another thing is, if you've ever gone to a class or retreat, you know that once the iron is hot and you have to take it away, you have to let it cool before you can throw it in your bag and take it with you. On this guy, because this is its own base, even if it's hot and we just finished using it, I just throw it in there and I put the cover on it. And even if it's still warm or hot, I can take it with me in the car. So this is my favorite cordless iron that I specifically use for patchwork piecing, okay? So keep that in mind. Now the link for this guy is in the description box below. I'm going to move it to the side. That, I mentioned that one for quilting. For garment sewing, okay, this is my new favorite iron. This is a t-fal iron, ultra glide. You can see at the bottom, look at all the holes that this thing has. The steam on this iron is a beast, and I don't typically use steam when I'm quilting. So I don't ever put water in that cordless iron I showed you. But for garment sewing and making clothes, I definitely need steam. I have a ton of hems to turn under, collars and things, and all these different neck bindings and all this stretch fabric that I have to press super flat. at folds, at creases and things, and I definitely use steam in those instances. Now let me show you the steam on this iron. I'm just gonna pump it a few times. Look at this. It's fogging up my camera lens and everything, okay? But this thing is amazing. When you need a blast, a super huge blast of steam for garment sewing, specifically that's how I use it, this is the iron that I want to get. Look at the base on this thing. It stands up without falling all or tipping all over the place. The cord doesn't get caught and make it tip over. The cord kind of nestles itself right there in that notch and it holds up nicely. It takes steam. You can leave it without steam. Of course, it has all your settings in there. It has anti-drip technology, and it does have an automatic shutoff. So I know for a lot of quilters, we don't typically like the automatic shutoff because every time you sew something, you want to get up and press it, and then the iron has shut itself off. So that's another reason I like the cordless one for that, because it just stays on the base, okay? This is my new favorite iron when I'm using steam, okay? So this is it. Because of all the holes and the ridiculous steam cloud that it creates, and it's still like your regular home sewing iron. This is almost like one of the hardcore tailor type of irons, and it is so affordable. When you guys see the price on this, you're gonna freak out. So I've included the link for this iron in the description box below. Again, if you're on the market for a great all-purpose iron, whether you use steam or not, because if you don't put water in here, it would be great for patchwork quilting and things like that. It gets really hot, and the steam function is really what I use it for, but it's super affordable. Now, another iron that I wanted to show for those of us that are looking for a budget-friendly option. This is a Black & Decker Press and Go iron that I bought, I want to say 10 years ago. This thing is amazing. I paid like $6 for it. I'm not even kidding you. And guess what? It's still hanging in there. This thing takes steam. It's fine. It heats up super fast. And one thing is, if you have problems holding these really big, heavy irons, this is a great option, something like this, because it's affordable. I mean, super affordable. But it's lightweight too. And it heats up super, super hot. I need to clean it clearly. But it heats up. I mean, it's like super hot to the touch. But this is a great option. You don't always have to go out and buy, you know, brand name, super expensive, because although other quilters use it iron, you can sometimes get away with what you have. I just tend to, some of the features that I really like, especially for the types of projects that I work on, I look for an iron that is not too heavy because I'm constantly doing this. I don't want it to be super heavy on my hand or my arm. 2 is something that works either with steam or without, so that I can have that the opportunity to change it up, whether I want to use it for steam or not. I also like something that heats up very hot and very fast. That's really like my main thing. I like to press my cotton fabrics with super high at the cotton setting, and I want it to heat up quick. When I plug that iron in and I set it on, I want to literally be able to grab my pieces, sew it real quick, and boom. By then, when I hit it with the iron, I want it to be really, really nice and hot. So again, if you're on a budget, look up, I don't know that they even make this model anymore, but I'll try to put a link in the description box below to the closest thing that I can find to this kind of iron. And if you have an iron in your closet, go ahead and get started with that. You don't have to buy a super expensive iron. But number 1 in affordability would be something like this. Number 2 in affordability, which blows my mind, is this guy here, both for steam and because it heats up super quick, has a good wide base. And one thing I forgot to mention about this guy is that the cord is like 12 feet long. It's the longest cord of all the others. So although it may not be cordless, you definitely have more length to add. If you have a plug on one side, you can like drag it all the way across the room. It's the longest cord of all the irons that I have. And then after that one would come this guy. And this is really more like a splurge, you know? Or even if you're limited on space and you need to have something cordless because you can only set it up on a small table or small corner of a table, this is another option. So that's it. Aside from my little mini travel irons and these 3 irons that I most often use, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And that's it for this video overview of the irons that I use in my sewing and quilting projects. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned a little bit more about the different features to look out for when you're on the market for a new iron. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit it with the thumbs up below, share it across the different social media sites, and remember, I always include a link for you in the description box below on where you can find links to all the irons I featured in this video. Also, don't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I will see you in the next one. Overview and kind of like a review video, I'm going to give you an overview of the irons that I use and love. And in this video, I'm sharing with you my overview that you should be looking out for as you pick the irons for you. No. Don't miss out on any of my future videos. Thanks again for watching. Remember,